Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the 2020 Chevrolet Bolt EV. This is the premier model with the top-level 7-speaker Bose audio system. Now, unfortunately, Chevrolet and Bose don't provide a maximum wattage for this system. I would probably guess it's around 200 or 300 watts. This is going to be a full sound system demo. So we've got a USB stick here with uncompressed WAV audio files plugged directly into the system and high quality binaural microphones in both of my ears to give you the most realistic experience possible through YouTube. And we always start these sound system demos with the sound setting set to neutral. So you can see I've got bass, mid-range, treble, all zeroed out. Let's go through them. There's full bass. Mid-range. Pretty dramatic there. And treble. Now you do have this talk mode here. Press that and kind of optimizes sound for if you're listening to public radio or a podcast or some sort of talk radio. Hit custom to go back to normal. And that's it for audio settings in the Bolt. You also have an auto volume setting so that as you get going faster, the music will get a little bit louder for you. In terms of audio inputs, pretty standard affair. You've got your Sirius XM, FM, AM, 2 USB ports, Bluetooth, and a 3.5mm auxiliary input jack. So what are you missing? Just a CD player, which you don't see too often anymore anyway. Before we get going with the rest of the review, let's hop out, take a quick look at the car. So if you weren't already aware, this is Chevy's fully electric vehicle option right now. And for 2020, it actually got a little battery chemistry boost, so the range is at 259 combined according to the EPA. And those numbers are going to differ drastically depending on your city or highway driving. If you'd like to see a full review of the Bolt, we'll put the link to that in the description. But for now, let's get back to the sound test. So in terms of speaker locations in the Bolt, you've got one. Oh, that beeping is really annoying. Sorry guys. 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, and then you actually have one way under here. I don't even know if you can physically see it. It's way under there. I think I'd have to take that off as well. But trust me, that it's under the floor. It's a subwoofer, not the strongest one in the world, but it does hit pretty decently on low bass notes. All right, let's listen to a track or two here stop, and we'll get on the road and listen to them moving. Now for media controls in the Bolt, you've got a standard volume knob here, as well as 2 volume control buttons behind the steering wheel. I like them back there. It makes them easy to get to, kind of out of the way. For track control, you've got physical buttons here, back and forth, as well as digital buttons there on the touchscreen, and then buttons here on the steering wheel. You can also sift around in folders from here. Folders, artist songs, when you're using a USB stick. The vehicle also has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support. Alright, let's get on the road. For those of you who watch these videos regularly, you know that song there is a really good test of the abilities of a car's audio system. The Bose system here in the Bolt is wholly average, and the little bit of disappointment in it lies in the fact that the speakers could do more. The mixing just isn't really there. And what I mean by that is, if I go in and I bring the bass up probably like 2 or 3 clicks, I bring the treble up 2 or 3 clicks, and I bring the mid-range, depending on what I'm listening to, either up 1 or down 1, then I get a better experience. So I know the speakers are capable of it, because certain sounds that come through sound really crisp, really strong, but it's almost like a rarity that you really get to hear one of those good, strong, crisp notes. At first, I didn't even think this car had a subwoofer. I had to research it and found that it indeed does have one. And so I put on some really low bassy songs, and actually the subwoofer hit quite hard. I could feel it vibrating my seat at certain points with the volume not all that high. But the sad thing is that in songs like this rock music or one of those orchestral songs we just listened to, a really good system will activate that subwoofer and use it for some of the mid to low range bass sounds as well as the really low hits, to really create a strong, forceful, immersive sort of experience. And the Bose system in the Bolt just really doesn't do that. It just kind of exists there for sort of the hip-hop and R&B style bass hits. Another thing that kind of hurts the Bolt's audio system is the fact that those tweeters are so far up there. Now, there's a lot of aerodynamics going on in this car. Obviously, that's more important to Chevy than making an excellent audio system, especially at this price point. But those sounds coming out of those tweeters are very, very far away, and it doesn't mix very well with the door speakers here. So I don't know how many channels the system's pushing through. Chevy doesn't have that information, but there's a lot more that could be done with just a little bit better speaker placement, some better mixing. It doesn't necessarily need more speakers to just sound that much better. So as we get up to highway speeds here, I'm going to turn the music off, let you hear what the car sounds like at 70 miles per hour. Obviously, this being an electric vehicle, there's no motor noise. Very smooth, really quite good with wind noise as well. Obviously you're going to notice a little more wind noise without having that engine noise to sort of distract you or drown it out. Tire noise is pretty average for a vehicle at this price point, maybe even a little on the loud side, but nothing egregious. And obviously music's going to sound a little bit better when you don't have as much ambient noise drowning out the sound. So let's listen to another track or two here and wrap things up. So I think it was this track that you are able to feel some pretty hard bass hits when it comes in. But again, that should have been stronger right there, and it's not. That's frustrating. That's a little bit better, but the mid-range is just coming through too strong. The highs and the lows just aren't really there. So I'm going to go to settings here. That's not working. Settings. Why isn't it showing me my audio settings? Alright, well, I guess to do audio settings, I'm going to have to go to the main menu. Quick side note, this system is definitely laggier than Chevy's typical systems. Radio settings. Can I not adjust audio settings? I don't like doing this while I'm driving. Okay, well, in order to do this, I'm going to go back to sound. There we go. Did you guys see? It wasn't working right the first time. Tone settings. I'm going to put bass all the way up here. You can see how strong this woofer can be. Obviously that's an exaggeration, but I'm just showing that it is possible, so it's a shame that Chevy and Bose didn't make a little bit better use of that subwoofer. So all in, final impressions on the Bose system here in the Chevy Bolt. Like I said, it's average. It's not really inspiring, but it's really not harsh in any songs either. A really bad system, when you turn up like that rock song that we had playing, or really any sort of song too loud, it hurts your ears. And that doesn't really happen here in the Bolt. It's just not exactly inspiring. If I had to give a number rating for the system here, I think it's a good example of a 5. I haven't gotten to test many electric vehicles lately, so I'm a little hesitant to give this sort of a class-specific score. I would have to say it's probably a little bit above average for vehicles of this class, kind of things that are going for economy over features. So let's say 5.5. All in, I hope you guys were able to get a decent impression of the Bose system here in the Chevy Bolt. If you liked the video, please hit that subscribe button. Check out our other videos. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and we'll see you on the next one. Drive on.